Hey, it is great to have you along. My pleasure to be with you here on this Thursday evening. We have some new information as far as snow totals. We're going to talk about where, when, and how much for all the locations across Western New York. This is a live broadcast. If you want to go and ask your questions about the upcoming storm, now is the time to do it, and we'll knock them down. The quicker you get your question in, the quicker it is in the queue, and we'll get the answers to you. Let's start off with what's going on outside right now. There's still rain outside. If you haven't looked outside today, it has been nonstop, but it's finally beginning to release a little bit. Let's zoom in a little bit to Western New York. Fortunately, here it's been in the form of rain. After a very slick beginning to the day, things have certainly improved. It's been damp all day, and that's what's happening up into the north towns. Down into portions of the city, we still have some showers, but it's beginning to lighten up there. Into the south towns, it's still damp and raining all the way down the Holland, but we are starting to see some breaks as you go a little bit further south into the southern tier. Let's take you down to the Pennsylvania line. They've seen everything today: rain, sleet, ice, and snow. Some of that sticking to the ground, not too much, but enough to cause some problems out there throughout the day today. All right, Sandra, you're the first one in. What's up for Cheektowaga tonight? Let's go and fill you in on what's happening. Let's first talk about the snow totals, Sandra. I'm going to bring this in, and since you're the first in, let's talk about Cheektowaga. I'm going to pause this right here. The impact zone, as we're calling it, it's that area that you see on the screen. This video is going to take you right through some of the most impacted areas by this storm Friday night and then again on Saturday. Great to have everybody along. Go ahead and pop your comments in. We've got Sue wondering about the town of Tonawanda. We're going to answer that question for you, Sue. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and play this through. You're going to find that in the north towns, this is what we're looking at. There's not a ton of snow up along the shoreline of Lake Ontario, but there's a chance that you're going to see some of that during the course of the afternoon hours. It may grace the shores of Lake Ontario for a bit with a few snow showers. 6 to 10 inches. Let's zero in on that. That's going to be the same players that got hit last time around. That high impact zone is certainly something familiar right in through here as we go out to East Aurora and Hamburg. Let's go and take a closer look at that as we zero in. If you have a community you want to know about, pop it in on the side rail, and we're happy to answer that. So we talked about Cheektowaga. Let's bring in the town of Tonawanda. To the north we go. We're going to put this on the screen for you. Everybody should be able to see the totals. It is pretty minimal here as we drop through the town. You're in that kind of 3 to 4 inch range if you're lucky. That's that situation there. We've got another one here. Buffalo loses out to South Buffalo again. Let's find out as we bring in downtown Buffalo, and you're going to see the north to the south, and I think you're about right. If you're up or by Kenmore, you're only in that 3 to 4 inch range. The further south you go, you start dropping into the 6 to 10 inch range around the 190 and down into Sloan. Great to have everybody along. Let's go ahead and hit Middleport while we're at it. This one's for Chris, and we're bringing it back up to the north. Lockport sliding over a little bit further, and you can see anywhere up here in Niagara County, you're only in that kind of 1 to 3 inch range. The best chance for that is going to be overnight and then in the early hours. Randolph, we're going the other direction. Great to have Randolph in the house. Let's go right down into the southern tier for Danielle and give her an idea of what to expect. And as we slide on in, you can see there really isn't much. The shoreline of Lake Erie by Dunkirk could pick up a few inches of snow, but it's going to be the interior southern tier that really don't see much out of this, maybe an inch or so, but that is it. It is not a situation on Saturday for portions of the southern tier. All right, we've got a bunch of Hollands and West Senecas in the house. We've got two Sandras, LOL. What about Akron? Icy this morning. Let's go ahead and back up to Akron. We're going to do a lot of zooming around, but I'm happy to do it as we take you back up north. Akron is an interesting situation. Sandra, I'm going to pull you off the screen for a moment because take a look at this. Right on the edge of the snow zone in that 3 to 6 inch area, because it's really going to be something that's a little slightly inland, and it generally doesn't get the direct hit, but you'll be on the edge of this during the day on Sunday for a time. All right, going the other direction again into the south towns. Hello, Holland. Andy wants to know what's happening in his backyard. Let's fill him in as we bring it front and center. Holland is going to be on the edge of this. Not a huge number there in Holland. on Saturday. But Sunday is going to be your day down in the deeper South towns. We've got another one here. He's got to drive from Pavilion to Orchard Park before the game and after the game. Jim, you and about 70,000 other people have that same drive to make, and it is going to be difficult. And you're going to find that in and around the stadium, we're up around that 7-inch mark, and it's going to be snowing there as well. Let me put these banners on for you. In the morning hours, the lake snow is in the South towns. And then as we progress to the afternoon, it slides up to Buffalo and the North towns for a piece. That's when we're going to see some of those totals up and around Niagara County, southern Niagara County, right along the thruway. That's your best bet. After that, it goes back down into the South towns and the stadium during the evening hours before eventually ending up in the deeper South towns in southern Tier Holland. Sunday is your day. All right, I'm going to go back to these comments and bring back where we were. West Seneca is in the house. There's a couple of these. Janine wants to know about that. We've got a New Era Field in West Seneca. Maureen in West Seneca, I want to give you a shout out as well. Thank you for stopping by. Hit the like button and the share button while you're here. Please do that right now, collectively, everyone. Boom. And we'll beat the algorithm, and we'll send this to all of Western New York. Happy to do it for you. We're going to West Seneca. Into the South towns we go. West Seneca is inside the snow zone. You know what? That's not close enough for West Seneca. Let's go a little bit closer. We're going to bring it in. Whoa, maybe not too close. We'll take you right into the Boston Hills there in East Aurora, right on the edge of the snow zone. Orchard Park, there's the stadium right in the middle there, looking like a 7-inch hit. Some of that coming during the game itself. West Seneca, you're in the same boat. That 6 to 10-inch range, it's right there. Evans, Derby, and Lakeview. Let's take a look at this one. We're going to slide just a little bit further south as we slide along the lakeshore. Evans, Derby, you are in this. There's Sturgeon Point. I love this spot out here. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's going to be covered in snow by the time we get to Saturday evening. Again, you're in that 6 to 10-inch range. Tracy says, hi, happy to have you along. And we've got Lori wondering about South or Dayton and South Dayton. So let's go to the southern tier again. This is not a big hit on Saturday. I'm dealing with Saturday totals here specifically. Sunday is something we'll add into the mix, but right now I don't want to confuse the 2 days. This is going to be the day that we're dealing with when you get down into portions of Dayton and Chautauqua County, the shoreline right in here. That's what we're dealing with. You're only in that maybe 3 to 4 inch range. All right, let's go Lancaster. I knew we were going to get someone in Lancaster. What a great profile picture. Thanks for chiming in. Let's go ahead and look what we've got here. Is it a South town? Is it a North town? Lancaster's right in the middle. You know what? Lancaster gets enough snow that we almost call it part of the metro, but it's really not. It's kind of off to the east. Cheektowaga and Depew are its cousins there, and you can see sitting right in here. You're on the edge of the snow zone in there. I think you're going to do some shoveling probably in that. I'd say that if you're on the south end closer to West Seneca, you're in that 6 to 10-inch range. If you're on the north end there and inland a little bit, you're probably going to come up just shy of that. But either way, great to have Lancaster in the house. Let's talk about the Buffalo Airport, because that's the one that the measurement counts, right? That's where they're going to take the totals from. Out in Cheektowaga, we'll slide over, and we're going to slide right onto airport property. And there you go. They're going to be in that maybe 3 to 6-inch range for accumulations out at the airport. Clarence Center, let's go a little bit further along the thruway there, just to the north of it. The further north you go, look at the numbers drop off as you're in that 3 to 6-inch range. Will it be gone by Monday, Pat says? Monday seems like a long time, but yes, I think by the time we get to Monday, that's when we're going to see this go on. Let me put myself on the bottom of the screen, float right there for you. Is Niagara County going to see any weather alerts? Last I checked, they weren't listed. Niagara County is not listed because they're not going to be hammered by this storm. As we bring it back to the north towns here and give you that view, it's really something that drops off quite rapidly. You're to the point where it's a manageable number. It is not an advisory type number. You're below that threshold. You might get some snow up there, but it's not going to be debilitating. What else do we have on here? North Tonawanda. So that's going to be just more than what we showed at the top here. You're again in that kind of 3-inch range in Tonawanda. If you're lucky, if it gets that far up there. please God, not South Buffalo again. South Buffalo is in the mix. Jamestown. Let's talk about you as we get back into portions of the southern tier going down to Jamestown. Let's take a peek at it here. All the way down down, really not much. As we move this cursor over top of Jamestown, maybe an inch. Maybe. There's really not much coming your way during the day on Saturday. Sunday is your better bet down in Jamestown, but either way, you are not in a direct hit. Let's find out about Delaware Park, bring you back into downtown Buffalo. We can take you street level, Scott. And I know that you asked about the map. You said, could we move in just a little bit more onto Delaware Park? And can anybody see it there on the map? I think is right in here, but let's go ahead and bring you street level. I don't know what street you live on, Scott, but there you go. You're right in there by the 198 and Main Street, and there you go. That's a cemetery, and there's pretty much Delaware Park right in there. Let's see, am I pulling this? Am I going back or forward? There we go. Let's bring that back out. That's your update. So you're not a direct hit in the city. You're going to get some activity, but it's not a huge one. How much in Cheektowaga? Let's slide that cursor over there again out by the airport. You're in that kind of 3 to 6 inch range on the north side of the thruway. You start going south of the thruway, and you get into the 6 to 10 inch number. West Seneca, we touched on that, but Ashley will do it again. You are right in the middle of this as we dive into the South Towns. These are the numbers we're working with just for Friday and Saturday. So this is not an all-encompassing 3-day event. Sunday will add to the totals, but it's going to be further to the south. It's the deeper South Towns and southern tier. So it'll be Holland, Eden, Collins, Concord, all of those things. Springville will get involved during the day on Sunday. Mark says, bring it. All right. Hey, this is kind of round 2 or 3, but we've got one in Williamsville. Guy says, Williamsville, Saturday morning and Saturday afternoon. Let's take you north of the thruway. I think Williamsville may get robbed out of some of this as we watch what happens. The target for this appears to be less and less likely that it's going to spend a lot of time north of the thruway. There's actually a lot more information now that it's going to hold right around the thruway. But I've got to tell you, Guy, I know you're plowing roads out there, and it does look like Saturday morning or a Friday night, and then it comes back. If it's going to take a jog to the north, it may stop right at the thruway, and you may lose out. But that's going to be your day. If you don't have the snow, by the time the Bills game starts, you're probably not going to get it. You can sit back and relax because then it's going the other direction, right down into the southern tier. Where are we in here? We did a Clarence, Medina, and Lyndonville. We'll do a twofer here. We've got Kelly and Stacy. Let's take you up north to Medina and handle the business up there. So we're going to the North Towns. There we are. And right over there, it's on the map already. And we've got you right in here in the 1 to 3 inch range. A lot of that is going to be determined by if that band gets north of the thruway during the course of the day. There's still some models that are bringing it that far north, so you're still in that possibility of getting that band during the afternoon and early evening on Saturday. But it's not a certainty. It's something we'll be watching. We've got a thank you in here. Grand Island. We haven't called out Grand Island yet, so let's take you over there. We're going to zoom into downtown Buffalo. I'm going to take myself off the screen so we can see the island a little bit better. We're just south of it there, and there's Kenmore. You're in that 3 to 5 inch range. If you're in North Buffalo, you get up here onto the island, and it's probably going to drop off. You're in maybe the 2 to 3 inch range, and sometimes that cutoff could be at the South Grand Island Bridge as opposed to the North Grand Island Bridge. If you live on the island, you know what I'm talking about. Christine wants to know, she's in Orchard Park with a great picture there. Nice family photo. Let's go to Orchard Park and see what's going to happen. I think a couple people are interested in Orchard Park, and I think what you're going to find is getting in and out of Orchard Park is going to be kind of interesting during the course of the day, because here's where you're going to find that snow zone, if you will. Those 6 to 10 inch numbers are going to come in anywhere from Sturgeon Point all the way to West Seneca, knocking on the door of downtown Buffalo. This is going to be the worst weather in the evening at game time. So you're going to try to get into the game and then get out of the game in the snow. But 7 inches of snow, it's not 7 feet. It's a manageable number. And as Ashley says, oh, fun. How far out can the models predict? In this situation, we could take you all the way through Sunday. But the problem is people you see one big total for 2 days, and it kind of throws people. So over time, what I've learned is just deal with this storm in chunks. Let's take Saturday. You know it's going to snow further south on Sunday. But let's look at what's going on Saturday and not try to cram 3 days of totals into one thing, because then people see that large number and it kind of blows them away. Lovejoy and Kaisertown. We're going right back into downtown Buffalo, putting the numbers on the map for you. And you're going to see these numbers here again. You're probably in that 3 to 6 inch range, unless we can spend another couple hours to the north. And that's it. Ashley, no problem there. He wants to lose out, but not to the Dolphins, right? We're not losing to the Dolphins. Should be a fun payback game. Tonawanda, we'll do that one for you, Mary. Let's go ahead and back grab the North Towns on this and slide a little bit up there. And then we're going to pull this up and get me out of the way a little bit and see what we have in the Tonawandas. Look at this. Now, there was a difference last time in the other storm that we had in November. This thing came north, spent some time, dropped a foot of snow. It's not doing that this time. A very manageable number here in Tonawanda. And again, some of that, it's the 1 to 3 inch range. And that's what you're going to play with. You're not going to do worse than 3 inches on this one. You should feel pretty confident about that. Driving conditions going to be an issue in the city of Buffalo. Yes, they will. And it's likely going to be, let me throw the banner on the screen here, during the afternoon hours. So the morning hours, you're having breakfast with some snow in the south towns, and then it's going to slide or take a slight jog to the north, including the city, the thruway. And then you're going to find that the lake snow comes back through the south towns in the evening, and then the deeper sections of the southern tier as we get to the overnight hours. All right, back to the comments we go. They're still coming in fast and furious here. We've got one for Mary. She's driving Amherst to North Boston Saturday morning. The closer you get to North Boston is going to be better than Amherst on your way down. You're going to be driving out of it and through it, and then you'll be fine. Our school is closed tomorrow. Absolutely not. There's no problems with Friday. It doesn't happen until late. Tracy, thank you. We appreciate it. We're doing that for you. Freeze the fish. Ice the fins. Anybody have a good one? If you have a good one, put it in the comments. I haven't heard it. I like ice the fins. That's the one I've been going with. Or freeze the fins if you want to go with the alliteration. Also, hit that like button and share this thing. Hit that share button right now. Smash this thing out. Let's get everybody who wants to get a town in here. Go and do it. Tua says, I love this. They've had snow in Alabama, and I saw, 1.77. He had, I saw the total. They've had 7 inches in a full snow season down there. Here we get 77 inches in a single storm. It's just a little bit different. All right, we'll see you later, Sandra. Thanks for stopping by. What is this one? Skin the fins. That's a pretty good one there as well. Sushi, always a good one. I've heard that one. This one says frozen fish Miami for dinner on Sunday. I think frozen fish would be a pretty good entree in Western New York. So if we're taking all of your questions, if you just jumped in, these are the snow totals that we're watching. I'm going to put the Western New York map back up. All you've got to do is put something in on your comments. You tell me what town you want to look at. We'll put it on the screen and give you a look. This is Friday night. And then Saturday, I'm going to give you a little bit different look at it here as we bring this to the stream. Let me pull myself out and you guys can get the whole thing here. We're going to start this video. The high impact zone is right there to the south, but let's go to the north. Make it very easy. I'm going to pause this for you right here. Give it a long look. You can find yourself in there and see where it is in your backyard. If you're up in northwestern Niagara County, 1 to 3, Lyndonville, 1 to 3, Albion, you can see the numbers start going in here. And again, it's a range. If that lake band doesn't take that jog far enough to the north, you're in the 3 inch range in Akron. If it goes there and spends just a few more hours, that's when you're going to find the other end. That's why that range is there. All right, I want to do this for Michelle. She's got some college students going from Amherst to the Butte Trade Station Saturday morning around 6 a.m. I don't think you're going to have any problems because the intensity of the snow at 6 a.m. on Saturday is not a big deal. The snow band doesn't get intense. It doesn't have that 1.5 to 2 inches per hour rate until later in the day on Saturday. So the early morning Saturday people, don't worry about that at all. Dunkirk, I think let's keep going here. I'm not sure that this map is going to take us down to Dunkirk, but it is going right into the center of the snow zone. I will come back to Dunkirk. A lot of people have questions about Buffalo and Williamsville. There are your ranges. They're not huge hits. It is a little bit bigger as you see those 6 to 10 inch numbers, and that goes from about the Walden Galleria and drops down into some of the south towns. Let's go into the snow zone and go right into the core of this, and you can see where it goes and what's the extent. And again, I'll pull myself out so you can see Lake Erie Beach, Sturgeon Point, and then it drops off as you go inland, and that's what we're watching in there. Jill, sorry, I'll get you off the screen as well there, but we'll come back to Dunkirk. I'm not sure that map is going to go wide enough for Dunkirk, so I want to bring this one in, and we'll make it real easy here. You're right on the edge. As a matter of fact, let's go down here and slide down to Dunkirk. This is weather made to order. You guys direct what it is that we're doing here tonight, and snow totals is it. So we're happy to do it. In Dunkirk, you're maybe in that, I would say, 3 to 5 inch range. And again, a lot of that will come in the evening hours of your Saturday. 9:30 Saturday morning, we covered that, Kellyanne. There's going to be some snow, but it's not debilitating. Just got here. What about the Bills game? You and everybody else, Angela, it is going to be snowing, and I'll take you into the snow zone there, that 3D Western New York view. And as we pop in there, you can see right in there by the stadium, that's going to be the situation we're watching, and it will be snowing in the area during the course of the game. You're going to have to, if you're coming from the north towns, you're likely driving through it. If you're coming from the deeper southern tier, you're going to come through with no problems until you get close to the stadium. So if you're coming from the south, you're doing good. If you're coming from the north, it'll be a little tougher. Glenwood, Kissing Bridge, that's right. So let's go Orchard Park. You're kind of right in here. Not a huge hit for Kissing Bridge on Saturday, but I'm going to tell you, as we get to Sunday, that's when Kissing Bridge is going to get pasted by the snow. All of that is going to move inland and begin to affect areas like Collins, Concord, Lake Erie Beach, Evans, Angola, and then straight across, because on Saturday, it's a weak lake effect snow for the south towns. Then it goes to the city of Buffalo and the north towns for a piece during the afternoon. How far it gets, how long it stays there, that's the big variable. And that's why we have the range of 3 to 6 for those communities. And then it comes back through the south town. So it's kind of a 2-part event. For a portion of the day, the lake snow in the morning for the south town is not a big deal. And then as it shifts and comes back, when it comes back, it's going to intensify. And that could happen right during game time. And then as we get into the day on Sunday, it just keeps going further to the south. Hey, hit that like button one more time. Let's throw those numbers up. Share me if you can. Throw this stream out to all your friends so that we can spread this information across Western New York. I love these maps. I always hated the distant maps and it's one number for the whole county. That's not how Lake Effect works. This is how it's done. Community by community. We'll take you town by town and happen to do this. Syracuse out of this, really not much. It's the wrong direction for Syracuse. Syracuse got its snow today and a little bit tomorrow, and then it's done on Saturday, so no problems there. No problem, Kellyanne. Happy to do it. Katrina's in here. What about Friday night, 7 to 10 o'clock on Friday night? It's just getting going. You're going to have snow showers, but no problems. If you have events to go to on Friday, no big issues there. Friday's a piece of cake. Going to preview next Friday. Next Friday, it's super cold. I mean, nosedive, Polar Express. I've got all my cliches saved up for that one for the wintertime. What do we got here? He's gonna have fun as a dispatcher this weekend. I think so. It always leads to accidents. And a lot of times people on Saturday would say, hey, let's just stay home, right? And then, but when you have tickets, you're going to this thing. This will be a memorable game. We still talk about the Colts game and that other Miami snow game where the entire stadium started singing in unison. It was fantastic. It's going to be a fun party to be with. City of Buffalo and Amherst, I think we touched on that. Is it too early? It's never too early. Matt, you're talking about a white Christmas in July. So yeah, I think you're getting your white Christmas even in North Buffalo this time around. I think we've covered just about everybody. If you just came into the room, I'm seeing we've got a bunch of people in here. First thing you do is hit the like button. Second thing you do for me is hit the share button. Third thing, put something in the comment bar that I can work with. Give me some material. What are we calling this game? If this game ends up with a snow game, is it going to be known as like the snow revenge game, the Miami revenge game, remember the day we froze the fins? There's got to be a name that's going to stick to this. I'm happy if you get one and you put it in the, I'll give you credit. I'm not going to steal it. I'll give everybody credit here. Let's go ahead and talk about Lakeview because Jen wants to know. She says, hey, fill me in on Lakeview. Let's go ahead and bring her into the picture here and we'll slide back Lakeview. Let's go. You know what? We had it right there. So let's go back into that view that we had. That was a pretty good view right here as we slide back into the South Towns. That Lakeview is sitting, you know what? Let me pull myself. Bye-bye. I'll be right back. Slide myself out. And Jen, I'm going to pull you out there. And Lake Erie Beach is right here. It's one of the underreported sites, but this can be one of the worst sites for visibility. I think you're in the snow zone here. You're definitely in that 6 to 10 inch range, and then more as we get to Sunday. This is a Sunday area right in here. Anywhere from here to Springville, Holland, Collins, Colden, Arcade. I'm not dealing with Sunday right now, but that's the one that is going to be fun. December, what do we got here? December to remember. Chill the Gill. I love that. Kathleen Black, you own Chill the Gill, and we'll see how this goes. The Frozen Fish Game. So we've got Frozen Fish Game, Chill the Gill, Freeze the Fins. A lot of good ones in here. All right, we've got another one here. Bob says, how much in Orchard Park by Saturday morning at 8 a.m.? I've got to tell you, Bob, it ain't much. This is on Saturday morning, a piece of cake, a walk in the park. You've got maybe a few inches on the ground. It's not an intense snow, and then it will develop in the evening. I'm telling you, Saturday evening is going to be a different animal than Saturday morning when it comes to intensity on this lake effect, and it's going to continue to kind of do that right through the day. Ice fishing, there's another good one there. All right, I could do this for the rest of the night, but honestly, I've got to get some sleep so we can do it all again tomorrow. We're going to get a better handle on the timing. We're going to get a better handle on the reach. How far north? How much time is it going to spend up in the north towns as well? All of that stuff is going to be answered during the day on Friday. I'll do another one of these in the morning. We'll do another one at night. And then, of course, up until game time on Saturday, because I got to be honest, nobody's watching the weather on you're watching the weather on your TV during the course of Saturday evening. Will there be driving in Brant and Farnham? I think you're going to be fine during the course of the day on Saturday. On Sunday, Brant and Farnham, you probably want to just call it quits because that's going to be a fairly intense snow blowing sideways. And I know that area down there. It is not going to be fun. All right. Thank you very much, Mary. Hey, smash the like button. Two more. Let's go to triple digits before I'm out of here. Thank you so much for coming by. Hit the share button on this as well. It'll live there. People can go check it out. I've got 2 more likes. Do it for me. Any emoji you want. Go ahead and throw it on the screen. We'll see if we can pop that number. There's 99. Who wants to be the 100 to end this thing tonight? Let's do it. Downtown Buffalo, West Side. We'll do one more as I slide this in here for the West Side. You're going to be probably in that 3 to 6 inch range, borderline, maybe the 6 to 8 right there in the core of downtown Buffalo. Thank you. Whoever did the 100, we appreciate it. Make sure you hit the share button. Come back tomorrow with all information. If you like this page and subscribe when we do these, this thing right here, this thing will just kind of give you that little beep and it'll say Parker's doing his weather update. Come and check it out. Thank you so much for stopping by tonight. It's much appreciated.